Hi, I'm Heather, and I'm here to inspire you to change your mindset, gain momentum, and transform your life one simple step at a time. Yes, folks, it can be simple. I am back in the kitchen today, and I hear the cheers. Today, I am making a super easy and healthy cracker. And I was gonna say alternative, but it's a cracker. It crunches like a cracker and it tastes like a cracker. It just doesn't have all of the junk in it that might cause your stomach to hurt and just quite frankly a bunch of stuff that you don't need. So let's dive right in. I'm going to show you what I've got here on the counter. I got out my Cuisinart. Now if you don't have a Cuisinart, you can just mix this in a bowl, okay? It might take a little bit more effort. Just get this all set up. But it totally can be done, okay? So what we are gonna do is I have preheated the oven to 350. These suckers do need to be baked. I did pull out my trusty, I love these pre-cut parchment pieces of paper because we're gonna need these. And it's really only two main ingredients, and then however you spice it up, not even two main ingredients, one ingredient, spices and water. You can't get any more simple than this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reach in the old cabinet. I couldn't decide if I was gonna double the recipe or not, but I think I'm just gonna make a single recipe. I'm feeling like I'm very crooked. The magic of, or not. Let's see here. Let's just leave it. Oh, that's better. That's better already. Okay, so I have ground flax meal that I buy in bulk at the natural grocers. However, if you can't find this, you can buy flax seeds and you can put them either in your blender or in your coffee grinder and you can make ground flax meal. That's how easy it is. So first things first, I'm gonna take 1 cup of flax meal. You decide if you're gonna grind it and make it yourself or not. And I don't know what kind of flavors you like. You guys can make these really any way you want once it comes to the spices. I don't think you can go wrong with using the Everything Bagel seasoning. Some people call it everything but the bagel. You can get it at Trader Joe's, you can get it at Costco, you can get it pretty much anywhere now because it's all the rage. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm using a whole tablespoon. Then I'm going to reach into have you seen on my blog, my super duper organized spice drawer where everything has a label and is in pretty jars. And I am gonna add some garlic salt. Just a couple little shakes, that's probably ½ teaspoon. Now, if you wanted them to have sort of a curry taste, you could add a curry, whatever you really feel like. But with the garlic salt, I think we're gonna be okay. This is gonna be awesome. Oh, you know what? I think we are gonna need just a little bit more salt, and I would say like 1/8 teaspoon. You don't wanna over salt the crackers. And then all we're gonna do is we are just gonna put ½ cup of regular old water in there. And I do have the dough blade on, okay? Most Cuisinarts come with different blades and different attachments. The dough blade is gonna be what you want. Otherwise, you can just mix this up by hand. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it on, but I'm gonna pulse it. And it's pretty sticky, guys. That's why I got 2 pieces of parchment paper out. Let's just see if we scrape down the sides. My trusty red spatula knew I was gonna need it. It was sitting there clean in the bottom of the sink. And I might suggest doubling this because I can already tell that as soon as I take these out of the oven, everyone's gonna come running down here. These are great with cream cheese spread on them, peanut butter, nut butter, feta, goat cheese. Eloise really likes Colby Jack cheese, so she might put some of that on there. I tend to stay away from the sliced cheese because I know I'll overeat it. Okay, so now that we have sort of pulsed that together, I'm gonna push you guys down just a hair more. Get my water bottle top out of the way with my lipstick on it. Get the spices and the flax and everything out of the way so that you can see that I have pulled I think the technical name for this is a jelly roll pan, but a cookie sheet with sides, but I'm not gonna quite use it yet because I might need to, the only drawback with these pull-out sheets is they like to roll up on you. So sometimes if you stick it upside down. Now, one quick thing, always when I'm working with a dough, I just sort of squirt my hands with this is just a glass bottle. I'll give you a link to this from Amazon, and this one has olive oil in it. You can fill them with whatever you want, but they're great and handy to have in the kitchen. So I've slightly greased my hands because I just don't want all of this to be stuck to my hands. And we're just taking it out and sticking it on the parchment paper. Now, if you have picky eaters, or you want to get your kids involved in the kitchen, which is always a great idea, you can get out your cookie cutters. And I just got a notification on my phone that my oven is preheated. So you could get out cookie cutters and you could cut out fun shapes from this. Let me just show you. It seems like it's going to be a lot more sticky than it actually is, but the parchment paper just saves your life. So just press it down. And then what you're going to do, you can decide at this point, do you like a really thick cracker, or do you like a thinner, crispier cracker? I would suggest baking these at 350 for anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, depending on how you want your crackers to come out. If you like a thick cracker, you're gonna wanna cook it a little longer so that it's crispy. If you don't want it super crispy, or if you want a thin cracker, but you want it crispy, you're gonna cook it a little bit less. So this is just a trick, rolling it out in between two pieces of parchment paper. We're gonna need the bottom piece anyway to bake it on, and this just makes it super easy and you're not getting anything stuck to your rolling pin. Now, obviously we are not, I like them thin and crispy, but we are not gonna bake it with the top layer of parchment paper on. We are actually going to trim these up and make some cutting lines so that we can break them apart when they are cooked. So there is what it looks like now, and I am just, you could take any sort of knife you have, or if you have a pastry blade, this little doohickey, I'll link one of these too. You know, there's sort of, it's an odd shape. If you really were OCD and you wanted to make perfect squares, you could cut off the excess. But I am just going to make, the edge ones will be sort of messy. These are great to put on a cheese plate if you have friends coming over. But again, if you don't roll it out so thin, you could get the kids involved and you could get your cookie cutters out. You could even make these sweet and put cinnamon and some Swerve brown sugar in them. And it would be sort of like a graham cracker. If you do them thick enough, you could use them as some to make s'mores. So there's tons of possibilities. You can make them sweet, you can make them savory. And as you can see, I've just scored it. I'm not actually gonna take it all apart until they are finished. And then I'm just gonna lift this puppy up onto my tray and I'm gonna pop them in the oven, and with the magic of video editing, I will be back to show you the final product. Okay, I'm back, fresh out of the oven. 1 ingredients plus the spices that you like, crackers. I should have Steve taste one. He's the pickiest of the bunch. Okay, he's working from home. Don't be surprised. Oh, he's not gonna get on camera.
Terrific.
Are you serious?
I'm not paid.
I'm not paid. More salt next time?
No, they're good. They are salty.
Oh, we put too much salt. See, I knew it. Guys, you gotta be careful when you put the salt on a cracker. And you mix it in because there isn't a lot in the recipe. So they are salty. Here's, I broke a few off. Now, the trick here is to break them apart and to put them like on a cookie drying sheet, you know, one of those. I will, in the description, I will post links to all of these little gadgets. You might not have them. Any of the gadgets I've mentioned here today are not very expensive and they help with so many things. This is how I dry out and let my, if I'm dehydrating fruit or vegetables, this is what I use, of course, when I am cooling any baked goods. I use this to air fry things in the oven. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna break your crackers apart and you are gonna let them cool on the rack. And then anything that is fresh and doesn't have a ton of ingredients, as you know, it will get stale quickly. So as soon as these are nice and cool, I would suggest placing them in an airtight container or a Ziploc bag so that they will stay fresh. And as I mentioned before, we like to serve these with goat cheese, feta, cream cheese, and of course, little Eloise, she loves some Colby Jack. What can I say? But if you want to put in some Swerve brown sugar and some cinnamon and roll them out slightly thicker, see how thin mine are? You can make graham crackers too. So I'll put that information of how to make a sweet version of this super simple cracker. And I will attach all the goodies you need to make it. Not a lot of things. This is super simple, good food, good for you, and it will help you be well. And it's so simple. I know that you will believe in you in the kitchen because I know a lot of you feel like you are lacking kitchen skills, but trust me, super easy stuff. All right, I'll be back.